Well, this week, Grandma went to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This is a Spider-Man movie unlike anything we've ever seen before. It's animated, and it's got 6 spider people all on the screen at the same time, which is pretty amazing. And I don't know, Grandma, that may be too much for Grandma, but we'll see what Grandma says.
My name is Miles Morales. I'm the one and only Spider-Man. At least that's what I thought.
You ever hear of the Super Collider? You're gonna love this.
Dimension opening now.
You're like me. That's impossible.
Well, hello everyone. We're back again with another movie.
Yes.
Again, we want to remind you to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our videos.
No, don't miss any.
No, and please comment on them and let us know if we're going to the right movies, what you think of our videos. And then lastly, Grandma, what?
Oh, give us a like.
Give us a like.
Yes, please.
Today, Grandma went to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
An animated film about Spider-Man, needless to say, but this is Spider-Man as we really haven't seen him before. Now, in the world, the comic book world, as Spider-Man has evolved, I mean, everybody knows Spider-Man as Peter Parker in all of the different versions of Spider-Man we've seen so far, the live-action versions. It's always been Peter Parker. But in the comic books, there have been a lot of different versions of Peter Parker, and in this version they all sort of come together. The focus of the film, though, is on the second most known Spider-Man, whose name is Miles Morales. He's also a high school student, or this one is his high school student again, but he is half Hispanic, half African American, as we can
I would think.
we can determine, and again, multi-ethnic, living in Brooklyn, and again going through a lot of the same sort of growing up things that high school students do, and the Peter Parker that we know did back when he was younger. However, in this version, it not only shows how he becomes a Spider-Man, again, like all the other ones, but his universe sort of is being shared by other dimensions through this machine that this famous Spider-Man villain, the Kingpin, has developed. And so there's a Spider-Gwen, which is a girl Spider-Man. There's a middle-aged Spider-Man, Peter Parker Spider-Man. There's a black and white Spider-Man called Spider-Noir. There's a Penny Parker, which is sort of a Japanese animation little girl Peter Spider-Man has a robot and such. And then there's a Peter Porker, I guess.
Little pig.
It's a little pig, and cracking jokes and such all the time. And they all join together, and basically Miles needs to get these other spider people back to their dimensions so that they won't end up dying because they stayed in his dimension, you might say. They'll die in their own dimension. What did you think, Grandma?
There was so much animation to follow. It was flowing over you every single minute.
Yes.
There was so much animation, so many characters, so much happening. The 2 dimensions, the
multi-dimensions.
The multi-dimensions, that explains some.
There's Miles and 5 other spider people.
And the multi-characters.
Mm-hmm.
How is Miles, who has just recently become a spider person,
Doesn't know how to do it very well.
He doesn't know. He learns some of his powers, the spider stuff, and how he sticks on things, and how do I let go? I'm okay going up how do I let go? And then he becomes invisible. That was a new one.
Yeah, that is a new one.
He couldn't do it on call, though, until the very end. And it was interesting to watch his development and to keep your fingers crossed. Okay, this has got to work out fine. I know it's got to work out. I'm not, it's a Spider-Man movie. It's got to.
Right.
And
so what did you like about it? Or did you like it?
I like it. Oh, yes, I did. I liked the way Miles dealt with this new world that he was in. He wasn't at all sure. His relationship with his dad helped him get a grip on what was happening and, do the best that he could. I enjoyed it very much. What did you think?
Well, I enjoyed it. I would say not as much as you did, perhaps. I think it all boils down to basically Miles Morales' story is a good story, and I think it would have been the movie as a story would have been better served just focusing on him. I thought while the other spider people provided a lot of interesting things to do and show in the animation and such, that in a way they were sort of wasted. There were so many of them that each of them only, except for the middle-aged Peter Parker one, which sort of comes in early.
He was important.
The other ones all aren't well served by the amount of time that they have on screen. I mean, they're all good characters in their own way, but you don't really get to know them very well. Each of them gets a little wisecrack here and there, or a little scene or here and there, but again, they're really sort of wasted. And I
could have been developed a little more.
Yeah, again, and in a way, they're sort of again got in the way of the Miles Morales story, which is again what I kept. The thing with his father and his mother and his school and all of the sort of things that make a Spider-Man story an interesting story. His is just as interesting as the Peter Parker one. So again, I liked it. The animation is really outstanding. It's really, really good. It's a combination of, again, all these different styles of the different spider people, and a sort of comic books. Comic books sort of come in to the animation, and and again, that is just really well done. The animation is great. I would recommend people see it, but again, I think I would have rather had just a Miles Morales story and left it at that. I would have preferred, but still, it's good. What rating would you give it, Grandma?
This is a one-thumb movie. I do recommend that you go and see it. It's interesting, and in several sections, exciting. You were,
yeah. I mean, they can.
Holding on for them.
In many ways, they can do with animation even more than they can do with the special effects in all the Marvel movies and the live-action Spider-Man movies.
Because they can.
But you would recommend people see it?
I would. Yes, I would. It's very interesting.